welcome to Meanwhile in the Falklands, the podcast from FITV. Look at that.
Hey.
No
And
pressure.
we've got no jingle still because Paula thought, ukulele again.
Yeah, no, look, because I've been growing my nails on one hand and not on the other, so that I can play it properly. So I'm
Next
We're
week, guys.
getting
Next
there.
week.
next week. Yes, so it's a great time here at FITV Towers. You're leaving on Tuesday.
I am.
Not forever. Obviously.
No, I'm not leaving forever. You can't get rid of me that easily. No, I'm back. I'm leaving on Tuesday.
Jet setting again.
Jet setting.
But this is
again. That's business trip, Carl. I'll have.
Yeah, I was going to say
That's
this is actual leave, isn't it?
Yeah, this is actual leave that I've racked up from last year. So I'm excited. I'll be going home, seeing my parents, actually chilling out. Going to Greece, which will be nice.
Oh, you're going to Greece? Have you been there
Doing a
before?
bit of sailing, yeah.
Ooh. How long are you in
We're
Greece
sailing
for?
around Kefalonia, which would be quite nice.
That's cool.
For I think it's, I want to say 7 days.
Okay.
Maybe 10 days.
Is that what you are? You are a sailor type person?
I am.
Okay.
I am a sailor. I have a boat back at home. No, my dad's into it, so we get roped into.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's good fun. It is actually quite nice.
How much do you know about sailing? Do you know the port side?
I've done my RYA level 1 and 2. I'll have
Oh,
you know.
interesting.
Yeah. Is that cool?
Because the sails aren't called sails, are they? They're called
Do you know?
something or
Main
other.
sail.
And the ropes
Big
aren't
sail,
called
small
ropes,
sail.
they're called sheets, aren't they, or something? There's some
The
really...
sheet. The something sheet. Yeah, no.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've clearly forgotten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've clearly
RYA.
forgotten everything I know about sailing.
Year one.
But I'm hoping my dad will just be like, there you go, good luck. And then you have your main sheet and your jib, and you have to
So for the benefit of the tape, Hannah is
Do
actually
Hannah's-
gesturing.
gesturing, and then you hang off of one edge. Well, the boat we've got, it's bigger than normal, so it's not like a little laser or anything where you really can hang off the edge. And
Is it a Wayfarer?
no, it's a Benetton,
Okay.
which I think it's about, I don't know how big it's, 30 foot? Maybe
Okay.
bigger? I don't know, my dad
Yeah,
will
wow.
listen to me saying that I'm saying everything wrong, so
Can you sleep in it?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now
Sleep-
we've all
we
got
will
a
be.
picture now.
we'll
Yeah.
be sleeping on it
Oh, of
and
course, yes.
eating on it and getting off, and so you go around different ports and stuff every night with everyone, and you meet a load of new people and sit and have dinner, and they do barbecues
Oh,
on the
that's
beach,
cool.
and
Oh,
it'll be good
that
fun.
sounds
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's quite sociable, but during the day it's good because you can go off and sail for as long as you want,
Yeah.
wherever you want.
And come back. Have you ever
Yeah.
sailed, Carl?
No.
You'd love it.
Have I ever sailed? No, I've never sailed. I've
No.
never really been on boats that
Have
often.
you ever
much.
sailed?
I did an RYA one
Yeah.
around Isle of Wight. It's not the same as Greece. I'll tell you that now.
Good fun though, isn't it?
Anyway, so you're going off on Tuesday, but Thomas will be back on Tuesday from his travels. He's been to Portugal, I think, didn't he? On
Yeah.
his leave?
Lisbon.
Yeah. So he'll be coming back then.
Carl will still be here.
I'll
Carl's
still be here,
and I'll
working
still
away.
be here. So we'll be right. We've been holding the fort, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We've been doing a rather good job of it as well.
Well,
so.
I don't know. I came back and the office was an absolute tip.
Yeah.
Must I say?
Hannah's
I had
been
to
on
come and do a spring clean.
Hannah's been on a mission to sell everything we have in
Everything
the
in
offices.
sight, yeah.
I just
It's not
don't like
nailed down.
things not being neat.
Yeah.
And they sit there, and if we haven't touched them in 2 years, we're not going to use them.
So join us at the flea market on
Yeah,
So I'll
Sunday.
be flogging everything for FITV own.
Yeah, we're having a flea market sale on Sunday.
Yeah.
Come down, see what.
That'd be good at the town hall. So that's for the benefit of listeners overseas. That's like a car boot sale,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
obviously you never can tell what the weather's going to be like down here, so it's easier just to
But
do
it's
it
an
inside.
indoor car. It's a bit of
Once
an
a month.
upmarket.
Is it always the
car boot
first?
sale.
Always the first Sunday
Of
in
the
the
month?
month,
Yeah.
I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And are you going to the Falklands Ball on Saturday night?
No, I haven't got a ticket.
I've not got time.
They've,
ticket
they've
either.
sold out.
Have you got a ticket?
No.
Would you have gone anyway, Carl?
Probably not.
No. So
It's not
how
really
is
my kind of thing.
no? So I presume you're one of these people who play Fortnite.
Mm,
One
no.
of these gamers, are you?
I'm one of those dirty gamers. I'm fully aware of Fortnite, but I've not played it myself.
Are
My
you not tempted
siblings.
because of the money?
No, because you have to be ridiculously good at it, and
Okay.
I tend to stick to my own when I'm playing video games, so that I don't have to compete against anyone else.
Because actually, Carl's really bad at video games, even
I'm
though
really-
he spends
I'm re-
hours and hours
I'm really
on
bad
end.
at most things, so you know.
Oh no, you're not. You were responsible for the whole of the news one week.
Yeah.
I gestured towards your desk at that point. Tyrone's going to do us a piece on
Yes,
Fortnite.
Tyrone is. I think it'll be interesting.
See
to
how
what
it. I presume you can play it down here, can you? Cause it's,
Well, Tyrone was saying that him and his friends have been playing it, and I know that there are people that do play games online down here.
But the megabytes.
I know.
How do they
But
manage it?
he said it wasn't that megabyte heavy.
Well, maybe it's not.
So
Well, there's no online Call of Duty for anyone. New Call of Duty's coming out.
Yes.
Yep.
There's some
Trailer looks good, gameplay trailer.
There's some controversy about that actually.
Is there why?
Because they're using white phosphorus in it, and white phosphorus is obviously a very hot topic issue.
Is it?
It's considered.
tell.
It's considered the use of it in actual wars is considered some form of war crime,
Is it?
and there's concerns over why are you putting this in a video game. It's a whole thing.
So what's the video game that you prefer to play?
I prefer to play.
I know what Carl prefers to play. The softer side of gaming.
No, I don't.
Is it available on the Wii?
Happy Chefs. And
What games do I like to play? I like to play big scale RPGs where it's a lot of.
it's a role-playing game.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is a crash course in video gaming. So I like to play role-playing games, RPGs, and they are stuff where you inhabit a character and you can make choices in the game that will affect the story as you go through it. So one of my favourite ones is The Witcher. And The Witcher has stuff where it's like you'll come across someone in the street and they'll be I don't know it's set all during medieval times. So you'll come across someone in the street and they might be like, oh, the invading army caught me and now they've chucked me in this river and tied me up and blah blah. And through a conversation with them, you can glean more details about them.
And there's different paths you can take, so you could play that game 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and have a completely different...
And take totally different experience on it. So it's like questions, so you'll be asked a question, you answer one of the 2 ways of answering it. The way you answer means you'll get led on a different mission.
So in my day, you had it in as a book, and you got to the end of the chapter, and it would be, turn to page 40 if you think this man should go left.
But a lot of them are based on stuff like that. Yeah.
That's where it all kind of spawned from, in terms of large-scale games like that.
Oh, cool.
Do you ever play World of Warcraft?
No, I've never really played much games on PC.
Is that the one that's on Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I've not played a lot of PC games because I never had a PC that was strong enough to kind of get on with that kind of stuff.
Good stuff. Right, let's move on
That's
from
the end of my gaming corner.
So we should do a gaming corner then, perhaps. We did do a tech corner years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. A local lady who was really into. She used to build her own robots or something. She used to come in and say, the second time round Furbies that came round. And
oh God, Furbies are so creepy.
Can we go into what you've been up to this week, then, Mrs. Jones? Back to a different type of corner.
Yes.
We're going to go to the astronomy corner.
Oh, I know it's back. It's back. It's back. The astronomy is back. Yes.
What are we looking for in our skies?
Yes.
Well, years ago we used to do an astronomy section, and we haven't done one for ages. And I thought, I'm just going to bring it back. I think not too exciting this month, I have to say. The Perseid meteor shower is more like to see it in the northern hemisphere, basically. There was the moon was in apogee when it's perigee when it's closest to us on yesterday, Thursday, for the new moon. So it was called a super dark moon or something like that. It's called. But that won't happen again for a little while. But it's just it all stemmed from the other week when I went when it was absolutely perfectly calm.
When you nearly got caught.
Yeah, perfectly calm evening, and there's so many stars. There was not a cloud in the sky, and we just took a flask of hot chocolate, went down to Surf Bay, and just took these amazing. Well,
can I give some context to this though? So there was this If listeners watched our show last week, we did a piece on the vandalism. Yes. There was a spate of vandalism in the community. So the police were on high alert. I'm going to say it's high alert.
They pinged our number plate.
Trying to find some vandals up near the Cape Pembroke area. Lo and behold, who was there?
I was there. No, it was funny. She said, we saw your car and we thought, right, they're either taking pictures or they're up to no good. And then pinged our number plate. Went, yeah, they're taking pictures. Honestly, there couldn't have been a better evening. There was not a breath of air. More stars than you can shake a stick at. It was the only time I've ever been in the same situation. Went to Yosemite Park years ago, and it was one of those ones you could point your camera in any direction, take a picture, and you'd get a fantastic picture. And the same was true. I
stayed up in the hills in California once, and you could see the Milky Way with the naked eye. It was incredible, the most beautiful night sky I've ever seen.
So if listeners are listening to this in any other country, because no, we have got a listener in California actually.
If you're in California, get into the hills.
Yeah. Honestly, the skies down in the Falklands are phenomenal. Hardly, well, I don't think there's any light pollution at all, is there?
Well, if you're in Stanley, then there's a bit. But if you get outside of Stanley, then...
And went outside of Stanley, you know, like just down to Surf Bay. It was nothing. I think in camp, you just...
Yeah.
And in some ways, I think it makes it even more difficult to do astronomy because...
There's too much to see.
I just can't, you know...
So if anyone would like to give us a lesson on starlight photography...
Yes, that's what we want.
Please come into our office.
Because I took some photographs and they're lovely, but they're not as crisp as I really wanted. So I've got a friend of mine gave me a couple of tips which I'm going to have a look at for next time round. But if you know anything about night photography,
email us.
Email us please and let us know, because I've been battling on about it for some weeks, haven't I?
Can I ask?
Yes.
Did you end up finding Perseus in the end? Because you seem to have a mini breakdown at one point where you were just going,
this week?
Yes, where's Perseus? Perseus!
I had one of those apps. So listen, on my phone I've got this star map on my app, on my phone.
Sky maps. Yeah.
There's quite a few of them, and I was flitting between all three of them, and I was on my chair, I was spinning around the room, because obviously it shows you where the constellations are, even in the northern hemisphere. So you point it down to the floor, it'll tell you you can see down there.
Yeah.
So I was there and I was trying to look for Perseus, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Sorry, mustard word. Couldn't find him anywhere because he's just below the horizon. That's why. So which is why you won't be able to see the Perseid meteor shower, because it's
so
too
where
low.
in the world could you see it?
Northern Hemisphere. And it's quite a decent shower. It's like 50-60 metres an hour at the peak.
Oh, wow.
So that's a hefty one. I mean, we went down to Surf Bay, and Steve reckoned he saw a shooting star down there. So there was something. I know there's some cygnids going on, and there's another one as well that's happening over this period of time. But it's going to be great. And of course, next month, so I'm just starting so watchers of this programme will have seen there's some basic graphics there, because I literally just burst into the graphics room and said, right, can you do this? And so it was done in quite a rush, I think. Because graphics guys like
FITV animation department.
Tack on a horoscope section onto that as well.
No!
Why not?
I was asking Miss Phones this.
Exactly. That would be great. The two of us now suggested this.
I asked her, and then Miss Phones gave me a very, very stern look and said no, and I went, I agree with you. We should not do that.
Yeah, quite right. Blimmin' heck. And for goodness sake.
For all you Virgos out there, we're not doing a horoscope.
No. You're lucky spoon today. No, I'm not doing any of that. Yes, the graphics guys just like a little bit longer, don't they, to get to know things. They don't like it. I want this, and when do you want it? By lunchtime.
5 minutes ago.
But anyway, so so I've started Tom off on next month's astronomy section, because of course we've got the equinox in September.
Yeah.
That means when the night and day are the same length.
Isn't that when they all go Stonehenge and go?
Oh, the pagans.
No, that's the solstice.
I don't know, same different.
Yeah. I think some people celebrate.
No, it's completely different.
What's the mystical? Isn't an equinox something that all the horror films talk about, where people go all nutty?
No, that's when it's a full moon, and that's where the word lunatic comes from. No, the solstice is where you've got a longer day than night, or vice versa, and an equinox is when they're the same. Equinox, equal night.
And then the winter solstice is the opposite, longer night and day. Depending
on what hemisphere you're in. It's very good. So Tom is actually doing me a little animation of the Earth going around the sun. I've already told him to make sure the Earth is spinning in the right direction as it goes round, and then show the sunbeams, whether they're directly over the equator or whether on one of the tropics. It's really good fun.
Do you remember that classic good graphic we got Tom to do with the
the satellite
radar satellite?
Yeah.
That was good.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, I'm glad we brought it back, basically. And if I can find my book, it will be even better, because it will take me a lot less time to research it, rather than trying to trawl through numerous websites to find the information for the Southern Hemisphere. You were at Government House reception on Tuesday for Southern Hit Heartbeat. That was a bit of a success story, isn't it?
It was good actually. And they had, whilst we were there, they had loads of these dummies and demonstrations they were doing. So they were showing us how to do CPR, things like that. But they've got all these defibrillators up. The first one's gone up. Gilbert House.
Yes, I saw that.
I don't know if you saw it. Yeah, very nice. And they've got, I think,
we've got about 15 of them.
30. Oh, I thought it was 30 of them, and they're all 3 to 4 minutes away.
As I say, there's a lot more than they expected to have, isn't there? Yeah.
And they got about £65,000.
Yeah, which is way higher than
what they
expected.
To get. And so I think, and they're hoping to roll them out in the camp as well.
Yes.
But what they'll be doing is they'll be giving the guys out in camp mobile ones, so they can have it.
Yeah.
Instead of like one in a big box that's fixed, they've got it in their settlement, and then someone will come out with it. But they're offering free training to everyone.
It's interesting what they're saying about, because they've got these big boxes that they keep the defibrillators in Stanley, and we were asking, because there's a code on it, and you've got to know the code to open it. But we were saying, what if the person that knows the code isn't there? What can you do? And you've got to phone the police. Give the police the number that's on the box. The police will tell you the code
for that location.
So then you can get the defibrillator. And at the same time, now the police have been alerted that there's something going on. The police can go out there and assist
and know the exact
location that you are.
Although I did think those extra seconds it takes for you to do that and beep 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 beep, but it's to stop. Back to the space of vandalism. Vandals going in there or anyone taking. I don't really like the word vandals, but. Yeah. Someone going in there and messing around with it, or because they're expensive bits of kit, or throwing them about. So it means that people can kind of use them.
I suppose it's better than it is at the moment, where you would have to ring the police and they'd have to ring for an ambulance. So getting those vital seconds. While you were there, I was at the production.
Oh yeah, how was it?
At the town hall. That was the infant and junior school, Key Stage 2. It was. It was really good. They did a damn good job. It was called Shakespeare Rocks, which is a modern, very modern take on Shakespeare
to
try and make it more appealing to children, which is fair enough, I suppose. But I've got to shout out, I mean, they all looked like they had great fun. They were all enthusiastically singing. It was brilliant. But 4 characters stood out for me. The 2 characters who played Burbage and whoever it was, the other bloke, who were in charge of the theatres, they did very well. And the other 2 that did well were the ones playing Romeo and Juliet. And they sang.
Oh, they do it.
And I think they were the only ones that sang solo, but with like a chorusy bit in the thing. And they did a fantastic job. And they're only little in front of that huge audience.
Nerve-wracking.
The other thing which is actually on the programme this week is it's basically Shakespeare's missing diary that they apparently find, and then they go through it. And when the globe burns down, they had these 2-dimensional musical instruments. So the boy who's playing this minstrel says, my lute, it's here, picks it up. The teacher who's doing the sound effect brings the sound effect in too early. So this lad is sort of standing there, the sound effect comes on, everyone laughs because obviously the sound effect is too early. And then, showing brilliant comic timing, this lad strums, obviously there's no noise at all, and then goes, it sounds perfect. And obviously got another laugh. It was
hilarious.
Just brilliant. So that was that on Tuesday. So that's sort of come to the end of this week, really, isn't it? It's
was it colouring book today?
It is colouring book day today. I was going to talk about that, about mental health and chilling out and stuff like that with colouring book day, but we went for cake instead.
Chill out with cake.
So we forgot the Training Centre Awards, which we should have been on last week's programme, so that's in this week. And then we've got this beautiful word here, Hannah.
Go on, Hannah.
Vexillologically.
There you go.
It's something to do with flags. It means something to do with flags.
Okay.
Here's what I think it means.
Informative.
No, you'd say if something's vexillologically wrong, you'd say, it's
to do with the flag.
To do with the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I used the word in my piece
You did.
this week. I had no idea what it means.
There's some wonderful words in this week's news. You've exologically defaced, I think you said. Yeah.
Defaced.
We've got No, I ditched that.
What was
I think
it?
I might have ditched that story actually.
Oh.
Geologically resilient. I think
was
the other
that
one.
classic Paula stone? That
Geographically resilient.
No, it was about the .fk stuff,
Yeah, it's
the geographically something.
the
resilient
DNS
to
server
DNS.
being.
It was quite the sentence that I had to power through.
You did very well.
Thank you very much.
You did very well, but I ditched the story, sorry,
That's
so it's not in this week's programme. Anyway, that comes to the end of this week's podcast. We may have rambled on a bit. You may have found that the sound dips in some places. That's because I've cut out a load of waffle or mustard words or somebody saying something that we might get sued for. So join us next week. If you want to watch this week's programme, it's week 440. You can find it by going to fitv.co.fk. It's worth every single penny you pay for it. And join us next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.